Plus, President Donald Trump has warned that America could face serious consequences without the tariffs he imposed. His remarks come days after a federal appeals court ruled that most of those tariffs were illegal. Trump posted on Truth Social saying that without tariffs and all of the trillions of dollars we have already taken in, our country would be completely destroyed, and our military power would be instantly obliterated. He criticized the majority of the court's judges while praising one dissenting judge appointed by former President Obama. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit ruled that Trump did not have the authority to impose broad, open-ended tariffs on nearly all imports. The court allowed the tariffs to remain in place until October 14th, giving time for a potential appeal to the Supreme Court. These tariffs have had global effects, including a 50% duty on some imports from India, largely tied to Russian oil. Peter Navarro, a trade advisor to Trump, said on Fox News that the dissenting opinions provide guidance for the Supreme Court. He added that the tariffs were not intended to be permanent and emphasized that the legal process is ongoing. Trump's tariffs have influenced trade worldwide, affecting imports from multiple countries.
Just a moment ago, actually, a federal appeals court ruled that most of President Trump's tariffs are illegal. The court is saying that the president exceeded his authority in imposing those devices. There is also a catch through this ruling. Correspondent David Smart has details tonight. Breaking just minutes ago. Good evening, David. Hi, Beth. Good evening. So the catch is that the tariffs can stay in place until October 14, right? That's when the mandate from the Circuit Court, the Federal Circuit Court Appeals decision, actually kicks in. This was a 127 pages decision that just came down within the last 30 minutes. We're reading it, but yeah, it finds that the most of President's tariffs are unconstitutional. This was published to the public docket, as I said, within the last few minutes. Now the panel found that the tariffs on nearly every country were not authorized by the International Emergency Economic Powers Act and therefore are illegal. So the court writing today unanimously, but none of these actions explicitly include the power to impose tariffs, duty, or the power to tax. Now, the arguments were recently held in Washington, D.C. This gives the administration the green light to go directly here to the U.S. Supreme Court, where we expect to happen very soon. We have not yet heard from the White House, but we are expecting something this hour. Now, as I mentioned, the ruling does not take effect until October 14, according to this appeals court, meaning that for now, or in the next 6 weeks, the president continue the current posture, or if with the tariffs as we wait for some reaction here from the White House. But this is certainly a late Friday news dump from the appeals court for the federal circuit. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's a major story, and obviously there are some countries trying to negotiate tariffs, and now there's this question about legality. But one quick question, David. So we've seen that the Supreme Court has stepped in a couple of times here, and the administration has had success taking cases like this, like the appellate cases, all the way to the Supreme Court in an emergency situation. So obviously they are hoping for that again. Right, so obviously they are. And I covered that the Justice Department, DOJ, feels very comfortable with the Supreme Court, especially over the past few months. Clearly that the Supreme Court is independent-minded and can decide whatever the majority wants. But the administration feels fairly confident, and we should expect to see some action taken the Supreme Court. Not sure if it's going to be today. Monday is a holiday, but I would say fairly soon. Thank you very much.